Hello everyone, it's Nicole here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You all know that collecting plants could be expensive. There are some very good looking plants, but they are hundreds of dollars. They have higher price tag and not everyone is willing to pay for them. So in today's video, I want to talk about rare or uncommon plant dupes. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars on those higher price tag plants, you can find some very similar looking, also very affordable, accessible plants for $10–15 at your local nurseries or your local big box stores. Before we dive into today's topic, if you have not subscribed yet, please do. This channel is all about houseplants, plant shopping, plant care tips, and anything plant related. If you're looking for a channel like this, I think this is it. So hit the subscribe button down below and don't forget to turn on notifications. That way, whenever I have new videos up, you will see my video on your YouTube feed. And I'm also active on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to get to know me better or see some of my plant pictures, feel free to connect with me there. Alright, let's dive into today's topic, rare plant dupes. The first plant I want to talk about is Philodendron sodywoi. This plant is amazing. It is very, very beautiful. I talk about it in my Aroid Market Indonesia import unboxing video. If you have not checked out yet, I'll put the link up here if you're interested. I received 8 plants from Aroid Market and most of them arrived in perfect condition. This one is a newer leaf. As you can see, the newer leaf is bigger, already bigger than the older leaf, and I'm so excited. It is so shiny and I cannot wait for this leaf to harden up. I really like the very defined ridges. They are so cool, like 3D effect. And let's look at the older leaf. I think it's easier for you guys to see. The leaves is very silvery. There's a stronger contrast in the center and the color will tone down a little bit on the edges. I love this plant. It is very, very pretty. However, depending on the size, this plant can range from $100 to $300, and not everyone is willing to pay for it. And the affordable plant that I can find in the market, and I think they look very similar, is Philodendron brandy. Philodendron brandy also has the very beautiful silvery and splash pattern on the foliage. I think this is very cool. Of course, sodywoi and brandy are two different plants, so there are some differences. For example, sodywoi's leaves can get pretty large if you give it a pole or a board to grow up. Brandy can also get bigger leaves, but the leaves are usually not as big as sodywoi's. The second one is the color contrast. I definitely think brandy has higher color contrast on the foliage. Sodywoi is definitely more muted than brandy. But hey, brandy is only $10 or $15 and you can find it everywhere, including your local big box store. I found this at Lowe's. If you do plan to get Philodendron brandy, one lesson learned that I want to share with you is give it a pull. I had 2 Philodendron brandy before, but I didn't give them a pull, so the leaves just get smaller and smaller and the shape of the leaf just look disformed, just very weird, and the whole plant looked very laggy and I don't like it. This is my third one, so I give it a pull and hopefully the new leaves can get bigger. I mean, as long as you give me this kind of leaves, I will be very, very happy. The second plant that I want to talk about is heartleaf philodendron. Heartleaf philodendron is absolutely gorgeous. I love the variegation on the foliage. However, this plant is quite expensive. Locally, a 2-leaf 1-node cutting is usually priced at $50. If you want to get a more established variegated heartleaf philodendron, you might have to pay $100 to $300 depending on the size. But I think the price will go down if you really want it. Just wait maybe 6 months or a year. I think the price will drop quite a bit by then. The second thing that I don't get about variegated Harley philodendron is their stability of variegation. If you get a very beautiful, very variegated Harley philodendron, you love the foliage, next day it can push out all green leaves. I personally don't want to spend money on a plant that does not give me stable variegation. Although the variegation is so pretty, but I think it is very similar to the Marble Queen Potho. The variegation on the Marble Queen Potho is way more stable. If you prefer the lighter variegation color, you can go for the Snow Queen. And you can find Marble Queen Potho everywhere. Every nursery has it, every big box store has it, and a small 4-inch Marble Queen Potho is like $5. And if you want a hanging basket, it's about $15. I think the Marble Queen Potho is so underrated. Yes, it is a common plant, but you have to admit that it is so pretty. I think if you like the variegated Harley philodendron, the variegation on that plant, you will like the variegation on the Marble Queen Potho as well. And it's way more affordable, accessible. You can find it anywhere. The next one I want to talk about is Monstera deliciosa elbow. It has very beautiful, gorgeous foliage, and I think it's one of the must-have plant to most of the plant collectors. I don't have one because it is so pricey. In my area, I've seen people sell wet stick for $100. A full plant usually costs $500 and up. Again, I think the price will go down, but I don't know when. If you really like the look of Monstera deliciosa elbow, I think you should try to look for a mature form of Golden Potho or a Marble Queen Potho. Or you can give a pot and train them to grow up and get more mature. Yes, it takes time, but I think the end result is worth it. Another dupe is Epiprinum pinnatum variegata. It has very beautiful fenestration when the plant is matured, and the white color is very similar to elbow. It's not yellow, it is the elbow white. Comparing to any types of Potho, it takes way shorter time for Epiprinum pinnatum variegata to get to that mature form. The next two plants that I want to compare are Philodendron menanoquaisum and Philodendron micans. They both have very pretty deep color foliage and velvety leaves. Yes, Philodendron menanoquaisum has pretty large foliage, but it does not mean that Philodendron mican cannot get bigger leaves. I have seen other YouTubers to train their Philodendron micans to grow up to get to that very mature form. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty, and the leaves are bigger than the hand. Menanoquaisum is not cheap, especially if you're looking for a decent size. They can range from $80 to $200, $300. But you can find Philodendron micans at most of the local nurseries or even big box stores. I have seen people found Philodendron micans at their Lowe's for $13, $14. Pretty affordable, also in a very good size pot. There are a couple more plants that I want to talk about. They don't look super identical, so I'm going to quickly go over them. Philodendron Rio, Philodendron Brazil, Philodendron Cream Splash, Philodendron Silver Splash. I think they all look very similar. Definitely Philodendron Rio is more different than the others. It has more elongated leaves and very beautiful white stripe in the center. Philodendron Rio can be expensive too. A 3-inch established Philodendron Rio is about $80, $100. It really depends on the size. If you like the look of it, but you don't like the high price tag, how about getting yourself a $5 Philodendron Brazil? I think Philodendron Brazil is an amazing trailing plant. It has very beautiful neon variegation, and I really adore it. Sometimes it might push out creamy variegation, so who knows? The next one is variegated Hoya obovata. I really think the variegated Hoya obovata looks very similar to Hoya Crimson Princess. There are different varieties of Hoya Crimson Princess. Some of them have longer and skinnier leaves, but some of them have rounder leaves. I found some rounder leaves Hoya Crimson Princess at Lowe's. I really think they look so similar to Hoya obovata. A variegated Hoya obovata in a 3-inch or 4-inch pot is about $50 to $70, while a Hoya Crimson Princess in an 8-inch hanging basket is only $20 at Lowe's. Alright, that's it for today's video. What are the rare or uncommon plant dupes that you have found? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and hopefully you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell button to turn on all notifications so that you will not miss out any of my future videos. I'm also active on Instagram and Facebook, so feel free to connect with me there. Anyways, my name is Nicole. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye!